Hello, I'm excited to show you guys the improvements we have to our event creation in Acumatica. There's three different things that we're going to talk about. The first one is you now have the ability to edit your event through the day of its creation or that it has been created for. So we won't have as many issues when you need to change something and not being able to get to do it or not having access to things. So that's a great thing that you'll be able to see that the fields are still open. The second thing is our related rooms table has been updated and is much improved. And the third thing is that we now have reoccurring events. So let me show you. I've created a test event in the Decatur campus on their special events. And so I'm going to go into that. And as you'll see, all these are editable still after I created the event, which is a good thing. We're not locked out from making changes anymore. When you go to the related rooms table, you'll also notice several changes. There's no longer a worship service ID column. That is defaulted now because you've already chosen that. When you go to add a row and you add the room ID, you don't have to put the number in anymore. You can actually select the drop down and select your room. And you noticed also, I'm going to go ahead and add another one, that you only are seeing your campus's rooms. You don't have to filter through all the campus's rooms, which is a great help too. So it'd be good if I just add one. Go ahead and add kids one there. And so now you just can follow through this. The other columns work the same way. Got some shortcuts in there too that you can do. And then these become editable as well. So that helps in the related rooms table now. Functions much better. Occasionally you may get an error or something, and that would be because you may already have a room allocated for that time period in a different event or something as such. You get some errors, but it is performing and working much better. You'll also notice that we have an attendance column over here. This is new. It's actually for some future things that we're going to be able to do and add, but you can go in and even add an attendance if you would like after the fact. Put an attendance to how many kids were in that room. Hopefully soon we will have it where it automatically will put the attendance from the kiosks in there as well. So now I can save and you have an event created there. The other thing I want to show you is the reoccurring events is there. If you go to the Actions tab, you can see there's a reoccurring right here. I do want to show you that that's going to come up, but I'm not going to do it quite yet because I want to go back to the Details tab and show you one thing. When you do a reoccurring, you set the whole event up and then do the reoccurring. But one thing, this Location tab or field, you have to have something in this location or it'll give you a default. With the reoccurring, it's become a required field. The start and end times are not as necessarily required because you're going to set those in the reoccurring event. So as you can see, I went to the Actions tab to set up the reoccurrence right here, and it's going to ask you the start and end times, and so you can put those in. We're going to later in the day, let's say 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And then you can choose whether you want this to reoccur daily, weekly, or monthly. And we'll just go ahead and say we're going to do it weekly. You can also, you select the day and the change, or you can select more than one day. Say it was something that's going to happen Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You could do that as well. I'm going to choose this one to happen on Fridays. And then on your start date, you want to put it to start for the second day. The event you created actually is the first time it's going to occur. So I'm going to not have this start. I'm going to say I'm going to wait and do this in May. That way you can really see where these come in. We're going to have on the Fridays of May. We'll start the first Friday of May and go through the last Friday of May. But I want you to remember the date here, April 4/10, is actually going to be the first date. It will happen then, which is not a Friday, and then it'll happen the next 4 Fridays. So I'll say OK, and it says recurring event successfully created, hit OK. And then if you cancel out of that window, you will see that it has created 4 different events that are all the same. The related rooms table, everything will be the same selected in it. Isn't that going to save you guys a lot of time on for the weekend services? The other thing is you can go in and edit these individually. It doesn't affect the whole reoccurring series. You can change things as you need on there. I hope this will help you guys, and I know if you have questions, just don't hesitate to ask. That is our updates and improvements on event creation.